We're wrapping up day one of the MHSAA football finals from Ford Field with a great matchup in D4. Country Day, Cadillac, next. For the first time in school history, earlier on today, the Cadillac Vikings sludged through the snow, hopped on the bus, and made the trip 3 hours away to Ford Field. The Cinderella squad has arrived in Detroit. And on the other side, the Country Day Yellow Jackets are hoping to turn that carriage into a pumpkin. They're trying to avenge last year's loss in the state championship game. Welcome inside Ford Field. Day one of the MHSAA football finals wraps up. The Yellow Jackets and Vikings, Country Day against Cadillac. Welcome to downtown Detroit. Welcome to Ford Field. Alongside former Michigan quarterback John Wangler and with the rest of our great Fox Sports Detroit crew, Evan Stockton with you. We will hear from Trevor Thompson in just a second. John, we just mentioned it. Cadillac is an awesome story. They're a Cinderella story. They were 1-8 2 seasons ago. Here they are tonight, and they took down the vaunted Edwardsburg Eddies last weekend in a big win.
They came off a huge upset, and this is a tough, physical, triple option team, plays great defense. They have to keep getting first downs, take time off the clock, and they want to be there in position at the end to win. And that they want to grind it out. And as Coach Mallory said, they simply want to out-execute and out-team the other opponent.
Now, Cadillac has got the recipe for an upset victory. But on the other side, Country Day wants to hear none of that. This is a determined squad. When we talk to their coaching staff, John, you can sense they've never won a state championship here at Ford Field. It's time for them to get it done. Well,
you know, Coach McLean runs one of the premier programs in Division IV year in and year out. What they have to do is play Country Day football. If they have athletes, they have strength, they have a lot of seniors who didn't forget what happened last year, and they're ready to go and avenge what happened last season. Country Day is seeking some revenge. Cadillac is seeking to keep the magic going. The Division IV final is going to be a great one tonight from Ford Field. Who wins the final game in day one of the MHSAA football finals? Will it be Country Day, or will the Cinderella dream of the Cadillac Vikings have one final stop here at Ford Field? It's coming up next from Ford Field in downtown Detroit. The MHSAA football finals are brought to you by the Sparrow Health System.
Send a message right now. This is where you make a name for yourself right now.
Where my dogs at? Where my dogs at?
Win on three. 1, 2, 3.
Win. Hey, we fired up. Hey, we fired up.
We gather under hazy night. Rain or shadow cast and floodlights applaud for this padded battle.
And brothers suit up in armor and dance with the gridiron in unison under the spotlight, holding up their team, careful not to let them fall. Brotherhood is an equal effort, a give and take. If there's a single wrong beat, there's a chance of being consumed by flames,
Or being devoured by an opponent's rabid will.
What you don't see is a season of long days, aching muscles drenched in sweat.
What you don't see is the bone-shattering stomps of triumph, followed by slow grind and hard fall before any confetti can shower.
What you get is glory mixed with unforgettable pain.
A feeling you chase for the rest of your life. Tied to one another by battle cry, this game is a rite of passage, a test of loyalty to self,
to team, and the heat of adversity.
This night can turn blisters into gold.
Turf and the sanction, cleats from dirt razors, and to Hermes winged boots.
And we all could fly. You could feel it by the thunder.
My goodness, I want to put on pads after that thing. Cadillac against Country Day. A great matchup in Division 4. Cadillac, a few have made the 3-hour drive here to Detroit, and they are writing that Cinderella story, including the movie they watched on the bus ride to get here. We go down to Trevor Thompson for more.
Yeah, Evan, Coach Corey Mallory thought this would be a good time with a 3-hour trip from Cadillac to the heart of the Motor City, Ford Field, to have his kids watch the movie Hoosiers on the way down. That's because he thought the scene where Gene Hackman's character had his players measure the dimensions of the court and the height of the rim would serve his players well here at Ford Field, knowing it's the same dimensions on the football field, the same size of the goalposts. It's just football, just like he played on every other field against any other team this year. It's just a football game. Let's go out and win it. So that's the attitude he's hoping his kids can take here today. But I'm hearing some of his players are a little wide-eyed in this one. We'll see how they shake off the nerves as we get ready for the kickoff.
Trevor, we're getting ready. Ball on the tee, up in the air. Final game of the day from Ford Field is underway, and Cadillac on the return. Colin Johnston up the middle. That ball may be out.
Fumble.
And untangle the bodies down there. What a start this would be for Country Day. Cadillac catches a break. Got to untangle the bodies, and finally down there, the Vikings fall on the football. That was Caleb McKinley who fell on it. Oh my goodness, John, they averted disaster here.
That could have been catastrophic there.
That was a great pop by Jason Abro on special teams to pop it out for Country Day.
The Country Day kickoff by number 32.
Here comes the Cadillac O, led by their junior quarterback, Aiden Gurdon. As you can see on the screen, they don't throw it a whole lot. They have only thrown 1 touchdown all year, and that came in the second quarter of the first game of the year. It's been a while, John.
He's been a magician with that triple option now. They don't, I tell you, when you see teams at this level being able to run it as effectively as Cadillac, it's a joy to watch.
Now this play is being reviewed. Remember, we do have the ability here at the state finals at Ford Field to review. When in doubt, the on-the-field call will stand. And that is indeed what we've got. So Cadillac, after a couple of brief heart attacks to start this game, to keep the football at their 16. Let's pay attention here all night, John, on where the ball is. This is an offense of misdirection,
to say the least. Country Day's got their hands full. They got to play assignment football and keep their eye on their keys.
Colin Johnston, what a start for Cadillac. Oh, he broke a tackle, still going down the sidelines, and the Vikings in business on play number 1.
Johnston, the ball carrier for Cadillac.
Here it is, just a down-the-line option. They got Johnston in space there. Watch him blow his shoulder here, shake it, the tackler off, keep his feet going, pick up another 7 yards. He averages 9 yards a carry, and you can see why on that play.
That was a 28-yard gainer for Colin Johnston, the 5'9" junior. The star of this show for Cadillac offensively is their O-line. Physical bunch that gets a push. You know, the surge up the middle will gain a couple. Tiernan makes the stop for Country Day. Noah Cochran on the carry. So here is that starting offense for Cadillac, led by the O-line. Meyer, Wood, Racio, Swiger, and Mallory from left to right. Ben Meyer, the junior left tackle, had maybe my favorite quote of the entire MHSAA football finals getting ready. He said, the fun of this offense is knowing you get to make a hole for those skinny backfield guys to run through. Play number 2 after the first down, and it's a pitch right side. Reinhold has got the ball, but for not very much. Good job by Country Day, swirling to that football from right to left. Miller, McLean combining on the stop. John, there are a few defenses in this state coming into the state finals hotter than the Yellow Jackets. 2 straight shutouts. They're allowing less than 10 points per game.
Well, the real challenge for them, Evan, is they don't see this type of offense during the year. And to only have a week to prepare for that, it's very, very difficult. Now, the good side of that is Coach McLean's been around about 36 years coaching high school football, so he's seen it all. But they have to be very, very disciplined, read their keys, and not overcompensate on this offense.
They will still run it on 3rd and 7. Again left. Johnston refusing to go down. He took a pop from Brandon Mann, but it sure looks like he got the first.
Johnston, the ball carrier for Cadillac.
Again, this is just a trap option. They get it out to Johnston. He turns the corner. He loves that stiff arm. That's a quarterback coming up there and delivering that blow. I love to see that.
Well, watch him shed the initial block of Reinhold, and then this thing is just violent.
The ball is spotted at the 46-yard
Well, that's a 6'4" quarterback, 210, delivering a tremendous blow. That's man.
And all the Cadillac fans at home watching are going, okay, the hit was good, but the first down is even better. Give up the middle for a few. John, you brought up the point about Country Day's defense not having a lot of time to prepare. Oh, by the way, this is COVID-19 times. We're not supposed to spend much time around one another. And when you're facing an offense like this, you have to. You've got to figure out how to stop this thing and all the moving parts.
Well, that's the difficult part. I mean, you can watch a lot of film, but until you actually get out there and see, and these guys are so great at running it, whether they're pulling the guards, the quarterback's a magician. Those linebackers have got to read their keys and be disciplined and stay home.
In the backfield, that play is blown up. Gurdon was swallowed under. Nick Wachel, the senior. Loss of 4 on the play.
Number 40, Nick Wachel, with the tackle in the backfield for Detroit Country Day.
She's tearing in there. He's going to Northwestern, a 4-star recruit, 6'7". He's a load in there.
He's listed, John, at 6'7", 280. And Coach McLean told us earlier this week, Caleb gained 40 pounds before this season. God bless the parents in that grocery bill.
And he picked up a little during COVID, too. He's got great feet, though, for a player that size. He's got great athleticism. He's a basketball player, and he moves around. He gets to the quarterback and sacks. So we're going to keep an eye on him. He'll be a difference maker out there.
Country Day and Cadillac in the D4 final. Big play coming up after the break.
No score early in the first quarter between Cadillac and Country Day, and you're looking at head coach of Country Day, Dan McLean, and he admitted, as John was alluding to, he's had some issues over the season with a couple of his players not adhering to all the COVID rules, and therefore they had to sack a couple of games because of that. So some interior policing by his players and coaching staff nipped that in the bud, so to speak. However, the players do respect the COVID protocols, and they did all they could to make sure that that didn't happen again. They adhered to the rules. They found themselves in the championship game, and their motto now, let's roll. We know what that means, guys. Let's roll despite whatever comes your way and get a championship here today.
Trevor, thank you. Right now, it's a 3rd down 12 for Cadillac, a football team that doesn't throw it very much at all. May have to in this spot.
Well, you would think they have to, Evan. You know, you could look for a reverse. Here it is. Just a dive, straight dive on that
Cochran was swallowed. Wachel again.
Wachel on the tackle.
Man, he's a load inside, isn't he?
Wachel's one of their leading tacklers coming off the edge there, number 42. Does a great job standing him up, stopping that 3rd down attempt.
Got to give love to Caleb Tiernan as well, sucking up space on that D-line. Cadillac to punt. Kalen Cooper back deep for Country Day. Hess sends it away. Cooper fields near the 20. Looking left, running that way. And the Cadillac coverage unit tackles them before they can get to the 30. Carson Horacio makes the stop for Cadillac. So here's Brandon Mann. It's been a big week. He received his first Division I offer earlier this week from Bowling Green. He certainly looks the part at 6'4", 215. And John, it's interesting in this offense for Country Day, right? Because they like to run the ball, but you feel like a guy like Brandon Mann, as he gets better and better and more comfortable, they can start to air it out a little bit.
Well, in the heart of hearts of Coach McLean is run the football, establish the run. But he has a big arm, and what Brandon Mann does is he makes plays. He's a football player, and I think that as the game goes on, he gets his confidence. They'll throw the ball more and more.
They'll start on cue with the run left side, and a pretty good one. It's swallowed up after a solid gain on the play. Parker Yergo on the give for Country Day. Listed as a wide receiver, but on cue, he's a running back. Keep an eye on Country Day's left side of the line. John has mentioned him a couple of times. Caleb Tiernan going to Northwestern. Pat Fitzgerald will be happy to have that big body on the O-line at Evanston. And a lot of skill guys who will touch the ball a fair amount. Yarberry is the top receiving threat for them. Man swings it out right side. It is caught for a first down by Norman, but there's a flag, so we'll check it.
Pass complete to number 18, Jackson Norman. Gray on the tackle for Cadillac. Penalty flag on the play.
Our first chance today to hear our officials inside Ford Field. Not as many fans here this year, so that noise and that penalty call reverberates a little bit.
Something to get used to here, not seeing a full house of
We have an illegal motion on the play. The back is moving forward at the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty. Replay the down.
Phil Long, our head referee today. Let's take a look, John, at what that penalty was for Country Day at center back.
Yeah, you could see they weren't set. Especially that slot guy, he just shifted. Now he's moving there.
Usually by this point of the year, you don't get those penalties, but with the twists and turns this season has taken, there are still some kinks that have to be ironed out. Yergo again left side, and that's a good pursuit by Cadillac, rolling to the football left to right. Whole host of bodies were in there. Cochran had the final stop. This is a physical Cadillac team, John. Offensively, defensively. When we asked their coaching staff, how'd you upset Edwardsburg? They said, we're a really physical football team, and the Eddies couldn't handle it.
Well, and Eddie's coach, March, they were the favorite in Division IV, said that they were the most physical team they faced all year. The other good thing is you see on their defense, they can go side to side. They get all 11 hats on the football.
Third down for the Yellow Jackets, zipping it down the middle, and the pass is caught. Mann threw it low, McLean went down to get it, and Country Day moves the sticks on the gain of 10.
Number 42, Danny McLean.
That was a great catch there by Danny McLean.
That is a first down for Country Day.
He just ran a post cut, and the ball was thrown low. Watch him go down low, get his arms underneath it, keep his concentration to pick up the first down. Huge play there for Danny McLean. It's got to make Pops happy.
Absolutely. The drive continues. Man on the run, shedding a couple of tacklers, spinning his way across the Lion logo. And it's back-to-back first downs on back-to-back plays
13,
for Country Day.
Ball carrier for Country Day.
Now, that's one of the things that Mann does best is he can throw the ball, but he loves to use his size and his arm, and he can pick up big plays. He's tough. He's a hard runner. You saw on that hit he made coming up from safety. And the thing about Country Day's offense, they'll spread it around and try to keep you off balance.
Got our second flag of the drive, another one on Country Day.
We have a dead ball false start. It's prior to the snap. It gets the offense 5 yards. Still first down.
John, you and I have been talking about the physicality that Cadillac wants to bring to this game. Clearly, it's in Brandon Mann's mind. I'm going to bring a little juice and a little bit of power myself with the physicality defensively and now so far on this offensive drive.
Well, when you see a quarterback showing that type of temperament and physicality, it's got to fire up his linemen and his team, and you can see why he's a leader, and Coach McLean calls him a warrior, and that's exactly what he is out there.
Off play action, his throw near side is caught, and a slick tackle by McLean. Takes a whole host of Vikings to bring him down. Harsh making the tackle, eventually for Cadillac. Second down coming up.
Number 12, Carter Harsh. Number 82, Trenton Dennis on the tackle.
Another nice catch for Danny McLean. When you throw a naked screen out there with nobody to block, really, the wide receiver was downfield, you're counting that he has the athleticism to make a guy miss, and that's exactly what he did, make the first guy miss and picked up a nice gain.
When we asked head coach Dan McLean about coaching his son Danny the other day on our Zoom call, he said, you can't ask me that question, otherwise I'm going to get all teary-eyed. And I'm a football coach. I can't cry on these things. Man, oh, that ball popped out. It is recovered by Timbin on the offensive line for Country Day. A great surge by Jay Goulash for Cadillac. He punched that thing out.
Trey Timbin, the ball carrier.
Well, Goulash, number 80, watch him pressure man, gets his hand on the football, and thank God for Timbin being so alert and picking that up, and it's keeping this drive alive.
This is an entirely senior-led offensive line, and thank goodness for the senior there for Country Day fans out there watching. That was nearly a disaster.
Well, he had to make up for it because he got beat inside, and it was a great play on his part to pick that up.
Throw to the slot, and it's caught. Country Day had a ways to go, and they still get the first down. Luke Grove, another lacrosse player that's filled on this Country Day team, full of them. He's got the first down. A gain of 18. Drive continues.
Here it is, just an inside curl route. Great job giving him a big target to throw. Picks up some yards after the catch, looks it in. Look at that, just a nice stop route. Settles right in that open area and then picks up another 6 yards. Nice football play.
Luke's playing lacrosse in college at Albany. Here's a reverse, back in his hands. Grove tackled in the open field well. Cadillac stringing it out to the far side of the field, near the Country Day side of things. And second down is on the way.
Number 33, Jacob Metzger. Number 40,
Jacob Metzger made the tackle for the Vikings.
Nice job by Metzger. They were not fooled at all on that reverse. They kept their position and stayed with their assignment. That was a good football play, not being tricked by that reverse.
Do you think Country Day's happy offensively with how the game's going for them so far?
Yeah, this has been a nice drive. They've had to pick up some good first downs. The thing you have to worry about, they want to be on the field, and the way Cadillac's offense is, they can keep you off the field for a long time. This is a good drive for them.
Awfully close to another first down. They'll be a yard or two shy. Cochran made the tackle. Gabe Winovich, his first carry of the ball game. A freshman who has helped Country Day on their way to the Division IV finals here at Ford Field tonight. The Yellow Jackets in the playoffs had to beat Williamston last week, North Branch before that in the restart. Third down, sneak 4-man. And already they are going to move the sticks.
First down, Detroit Country Day.
John, you know this as a Michigan alum. When you've got a quarterback who's big and strong, yes, I'm comparing Brandon Mann to Tom Brady in this instance. When it's a short yardage play, just sneak them ahead, get the first down, and keep her moving.
I'm betting on Mann in the 40-yard dash, though.
I bet on myself against him. That's literally the only thing I bet on myself for. Country Day on the little pop pass to the near side, gains a few more on the play. Nice pop by Harsh making the tackle. Cole Wilhelmy on the carry for the Yellow Jackets.
A gain of 6 on the play, second down and 4.
Carter, a junior. Cole coming off the field. Fast moving first quarter here from Ford Field. We expected as much, John, because both these teams love to run the football and love to possess the ball.
They really do, and it's like neither one are really big strike teams, so they want to keep these games close, so they're always in a position to win. They don't want any team to pull out too far ahead, because it's a little tougher to score quickly for both of these squads.
Third down coming up. Johnston making the tackle on the play. Country Day will have play number 13 of the drive up here.
Tackle for Cadillac. Third down and 2.
And this is something, Country Day struggled a little offensively. They have to find their rhythm here in the latter part of the season. If they can put a drive together like this and get the first score, it's going to do wonders for them down the stretch.
Popcorn pass Cooper. He's got the first down. Spinning inside the 5. And the Country Day drive continues. First and goal on the way.
The ball carrier for Country Day.
Here it is. It's almost like a jet sweep, but it's a little toss. And nice blocking. They sealed the edge, and then he was able to turn up, pick up that first down. Really well. They've run that 3 or 4 times now. They like that play, and it's really just a toss sweep, but they got a guy in motion coming across the formation.
Country Day drive that is on play number 14. First down goal. Give Cooper. Bouncing to the outside, and he's pushed back. Man, I've been impressed by the Cadillac defensive surge. You could call a bunch of names on that play. Chris Reinhold had the first hit.
But one thing about Cadillac is they go side to side very, very well. They really get to the ball. They got a young team. As we talked earlier, they got a lot of guys coming back. A lot of these guys, first year playing or second year, but they definitely have a lot of motion and passion, and they lay it out there on defense.
Up the middle. Cooper tripped up, and it's going to be third down and goal.
Cooper, the ball carrier.
Country Day doesn't have to snap it again in this quarter. Swiger made the stop, and it will indeed look like Country Day will take this thing to the second quarter. Coach McLean has been coaching at Country Day, the head man, since 1998. They won the state title in his second year, 1999. They haven't won since. They feel like it's their time, their year. It's destiny to win. But after the first 12 minutes of football, we don't have a point yet. Cadillac, Country Day, scoreless after 1 from Detroit.
No score as we head to the second quarter here, and the Vikings are playing for more than just themselves today. They're playing for the entire community of Cadillac. The marching band led them through the high school and the middle school today. Then they were led out of town with a police escort, and earlier in the week they received these messages of inspiration.
That's my dad, Don Johnson, who coached at Cadillac basketball for 11 years. I played Cadillac basketball, played football my freshman year. We're wishing you luck. We got our Cadillac Viking gear out here in Tucson, Arizona, including our socks. Got our fancy socks on.
My name is Mike Fagerman, former Cadillac Viking linebacker. Hit somebody like they've never been hit before. Now go get it, boys. Good luck.
Yeah, the Vikings are hitting. It's been some smash mouth action here in the first quarter. They're going to stay overnight in Auburn Hills tonight, win or lose, get a meal in the conference room, and just reflect on the experience before heading back tomorrow. But they've got the entire community behind them here on the field tonight, Evan.
Trevor, it's always fun for us here at Fox Sports Detroit, our entire crew, to see new schools show up at Ford Field. You get the Country Days all the time, and we're certainly happy to have them, but it's also great to have a school like Cadillac here for the very first time. This has been a mammoth drive. Play number 16 on third and goal. Man off play action, stepping up, and he's not going to get there. Cadillac pushes him back. Enyart had the first hit. Now, do you go for it here for Country Day, or are you taking the 3?
That is a great question, Evan. I think they're going to go for it.
Why?
Fourth down and goal.
Well, so much for my assessment.
Why would you have gone for it, though?
You know what? The reason I would go for it is because I want to set the tempo early with these guys. I think that they can score 21, 28 points against these guys. I think we can hold them to 14 or 7, and I think this would send a message. But look, it's the safe, conservative way is to go for the points, get some points on the board.
And the kick's right down the pipe for Graham Doman, the sophomore, who has now made 6 field goals this year, made a couple against Brother Rice. Country Day's loss to the Warriors earlier this year. The 19-yard kick gives Country Day our first lead of the day, 3-0 Yellow Jackets. We'd like to take a moment to welcome in the audience watching today on Fox Sports Go and also up in Traverse City on Comet Traverse City. All with us live for the Division IV state championship game. From down here in Detroit all the way up north to Comet Traverse City, hello to you there watching. John and I, our entire crew, are happy to have you. And then, again, that's what's so great about this event. You get everybody from our great state of Michigan, high, low, up, down, everyone's tuning in.
Oh, yeah. There's nothing better than high school football, and you get to the state championships. I mean, you know, how many teams are out there wishing that they were here playing on Friday night and Saturday? And, I mean, this is something these kids and these coaches and these fans remember and talk about for the rest of their lives.
Country Day goes up 3-0. 17 plays, 71 yards, a drive that took nearly 9 minutes. That is the drive that Dan McLean dreams about.
He just would have liked to finish it off with 7.
Johnston thought that ball was going to roll into the end zone. He had to pick it up. It checked up, and Cadillac has miles to go. Country Day's kickoff unit swarming down to tackle Johnston for Cadillac. And the Vikings have nearly the whole field to go. There is a flag down on the play. This is going to be an interesting call, John, because as of the moment,
After the play, we have a head ball foul. Personal foul number 40 on the blue. Half the distance to the goal, it'll be.
That's Johnston, who had to field the football, and then the foul was against him, too. So the drive will be even longer for Cadillac. As we saw at the top of the broadcast, it was a Cadillac team that was sent here to Ford Field with quite the going away party through the snow, wearing coats and hats and gloves and God knows what else. They got to see that as their bus rolled by. What a sight that is, huh, John?
That's pretty neat. They got the luxury cruiser coming down because Coach was saying they had the yellow school bus during the week, but it's good to see they had a luxury cruiser.
Cadillac with a drive that starts inside their 5, plows up the middle for a few. Here was that penalty on Johnston. This was the personal foul.
Number 75, Will Lehman with the tackle.
Yeah, that was a mistake, and you could see the coach right away pulled him on the sideline and was talking to him, said, "Settle down, you know, get your emotions under control. Okay, we're in a hole, but we're going to come out of it."
The good news for Cadillac is because you were backed up so far, that's not as big of a penalty in terms of yardage. Gurdon gives up the middle again. McKinley again. Not much again. John, we've seen Cadillac try to attack the interior of Country Day's defense. Why do you think that's the game plan?
Well, they're reading those guards and those tackles, the middle guard and the tackle, and it's either a give or a pull. And Country Day is doing a nice job. They're getting penetration, and they're doing a good job confusing Gurdon on his reads. They've done a great job. You can tell they've watched a lot of film because they're making it very difficult. He's going to have to start pulling the ball and going outside.
Gurdon keeps it up the middle, bouncing left. Oh, he kept his feet. Aiden Gurdon first down. He refused to go down, and the Cadillac drive continues.
That was just a down-the-line quarterback option. There was no read on this one. He cut it up. Watch him take these hits and bounce them off, keeping his feet moving, getting that extra yard. I mean, there's a reason he's a 1,000-yard running quarterback. Did a nice job there, picking up a huge, huge first down.
Gurdon enters today with 118 carries and just shy of 1,000 yards on the year. Up the middle again. McKinley again. He's been averaging 3 or 4 yards a pop so far on this drive. Cadillac, the Cinderella story in Division 4. We've talked about the upset victory against Edwardsburg last week. Had to stop a 2-point try for the Eddies with under 1 minute to go. But don't sleep on their victory in the regional final. They trailed Forest Hills Eastern 20-6 at halftime, came back and won that game. So you know, John, even in this spot, down early in the state championship game, these boys are not going to be rattled.
No, they're a resilient team, and coming off that win against Edwardsburg, they're a very, very confident bunch.
Cadillac keeps trying the middle of the D, and Country Day is only allowing a couple of yards a pop. Harsh had that carry for Cadillac. Another 3rd down coming up.
Number 3, Joe Miller on the tackle for Country Day.
Cut.
3rd down and 6.
Yeah, these guys are both, they're trying to establish the run inside. They're using some misdirection. The linebackers are doing a great job staying home. And I believe, you know, for Cadillac to be successful, he's going to have to start pulling and pitching and getting outside.
They will throw it. Gurdon pumps, goes down the middle. Oh, he just missed his guy. Reinhold had a step, but it was a little bit too far. Kalen Cooper came back late with the coverage.
It's a good call. The one thing, you know, they run the ball so effectively that those linebackers sink in. That time he got behind the safety, he put it up there just a little bit overthrown.
Set to punt for Cadillac.
Aiden knows he missed a chance there. Cooper, who just had the coverage on that pass play for Country Day, is the lone guy back deep. Ass sends a pretty good punt away. Cooper fields running to his left. Crosses midfield. And Country Day will start in Cadillac territory. Dan Gray made the tackle on special teams. The 10-yard return sets up Country Day. 3-0 lead in the 2nd quarter, and looking for more after this. Well, we showed you earlier on tonight that Cadillac made the 3-hour drive from snowy Cadillac, Michigan earlier on today. Country Day's trip, not quite as far. No need for that luxury bus liner, John, that we saw Cadillac use to make their trip here to Ford Field today. If you grow up in Metro Detroit, you know that Detroit Country Day has produced some fine athletes and some fine human beings. You see, Chris Webber and Shane Battia used to play for their basketball team, but Robin Williams went to Country Day, and a guy, John, that has just a few more bucks than you and I do, Steve Ballmer, the owner of the Clippers.
Yeah, I've heard that he's done pretty well.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little known fact.
Okay.
Shane Battier went to my football camp at Shrine with Anthony Carter when he was in 7th grade. And I saw Shane a couple years ago, and he came up to me and goes, "Hey, do you remember me?" I said, "Yeah, I remember you." He goes, "I was at your football camp when I was in 7th grade." I said, "Well, Shane, you made the right decision, my friend."
And now you know the rest of the story. The ergo on the give for Country Day. Gains a few on 1st down. How about that? Robin Williams, the football player for Country Day, huh?
Was that Mork and Mindy?
I prefer Professor Keating from Dead Poets Society.
Exactly.
Seize the day, boys.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. He did not technically graduate, but he is a former student at Country Day. How cool is that, huh?
That's great.
Brandon Mann. Oh, look at the power again. He has quite the load to bring down. Metzger somehow brought him down, but not before feeling the crunch.
Well, I give Metzger a lot of credit coming up from that defensive back. Watch Mann lower his shoulder here. That's 215 pounds coming down at you. Great job there by Metzger, sticking his head in there and bringing Mann down.
Brandon Mann's listed at 215. Jacob Metzger is listed at 145. He's given up 80 pounds. Just about.
Cut him low, man. Cut him low.
Country Day was 3 of 4 on 3rd down on the last drive. Yergo kept his feet. 1st down and more. Parker Yergo, the junior transfer from Stony Creek, brought down by Noah Cochran. But Country Day's success on 3rd down continues. Gain of 13.
Nice job there. Just an off tackle there. Yergo bounces it outside. Kept his feet going and picked up a huge 1st down.
Now, unfortunately, we have an injury. That's Jakin Metzger, who we were celebrating for his great tackle on Brandon Mann. He's up. Says, I'm good, man. Can I go back in? He'll come back in after 1 play, I think.
Yep.
44 tackles on the season for Jakin entering today's ball game. Had 8 last week, already 3 today.
1st down and 10, Detroit Country Day from the Cadillac
Also a track
25.
and field guy. Runs the 200 meters, the 400 meters. It's a high jumper, too. Brandon Mann, the quarterback, also a baseball player for Country Day. He's in the gun on 1st down and 10. Norman, the man in motion. Man fakes it to him and keeps it for not very much. Gulish slowed him up initially.
Number 13, Brandon Mann, the ball carrier. Number 80, Jay Gulish on the tackle for Cadillac.
John, do you think this is the type of game that Country Day wants to play?
2nd down and 9.
I think they'd like to be a little more explosive offensively, but they're doing a nice job. They're putting some nice drives together. They just got to finish them with touchdowns, but they're also keeping that offense off the field. And so they're doing a nice job. They're holding on to the football. There's been no turnovers, which has been big. And I think, yeah, they're in a great position. They come down and score here. They're gonna go in the 2nd half in a good shape.
Norman gets the ball on the motion this time. He's bouncing outside. 1st down, Jackson Norman. And Country Day, for the 2nd straight drive, is inside the 10. Task now is punch this thing into the end zone.
Norman steps out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
This, John, is the unenviable position of 1st down and goal from the 10.
Yeah, they obviously need a stop here. They are not a quick strike team, so they need to keep Country Day in check and not let them get too far ahead.
Man gives Winovich going nowhere. Cadillac busts that thing up in the backfield, and it just became 2nd and goal from outside of the 10.
Number 85, Derek Rude.
Derek Rude blows up the play.
Yeah. Rude did a great job. Watch his penetration on the left side there. That was all effort. He held on until he got his teammates to get to the football. That's exactly what they needed. A big loss there to take him outside of the 10-yard line, and they need about 3 more of these here to stop this drive.
Winovich inside the 10. They'll mark him at the 9. Cochran on the stop. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Interesting, they're giving the ball to Winovich. He's a freshman. He's starting to really come on. Now, he's averaged about 11 yards a carry, late in the season here, but he's really maturing, and he's gaining Coach McLean's confidence, and they're using him here in the state championship game because he's a home run hitter. He's got a huge future ahead of him.
Gabe ran for a touchdown last week. His brother Josh used to play at Country Day. He's now at Hillsdale. Country Day is 5 of 6 on 3rd down today. This would be quite the conversion. Man rolling right, zips it that way, and it's incomplete. Miller was open, couldn't hang on to it, and Country Day likely has to settle for 3 again.
That was a great call there by Country Day. They did like a short bunch with the receivers and just leaked him out there into the flat. He was wide open, and he's not going to forget that one. I hope they come back to him here right away to get his confidence back. That was a great call and just didn't finish it off.
Number 32.
Joe's a senior captain. He's an outstanding football player. Caught a touchdown in the regional final win against North Branch. He's not the type of guy who's going to be, out of it for the rest of the game because of that.
No, he'll get his chance.
The first one was 19 for Graham Doman. This one from 25 got over the outstretched arms of the Cadillac line, and it's now 6-0 Country Day. The Yellow Jackets hoping for a state final win for the first time ever at Ford Field. They're off to a good start. Coming up at halftime, we will take a look back at a season of starts and stops and a few more starts and a few more stops, and how some way, somehow, we got here to Ford Field. We will hear from both head coaches from Cadillac and Country Day, and John Wengler will break down the first half for you. A first half of the Division IV final that, John, I'd have to think if that Cadillac coaching staff, Country Day has moved the ball inside the 10 twice. They settled for 2 field goals. You've got to feel pretty good on that sideline right now.
No, I think this is the kind of game that Cadillac likes, okay? It's low scoring, it's long drives, punch them in the mouth. They've made them settle for field goals. They're in a position, if they can put a drive together, to be right here and make this a heck of a second half.
Country Day, I'm not quite sure if that was a called little pooch punt, pooch kick or not, but it nearly worked out. Parker Hiergo was almost there to field this thing. That was close.
It was very close.
Doman pops it up.
Yep. Yeah, I think that was definitely called. They had a guy there that was almost a perfectly executed play.
Ergo was right there. There was some late pressure from Cadillac. He may have heard the footsteps.
Well, Szymanski did a great job come flying in there, and that really stopped him from getting that football.
So they need to move the football up an additional 5 yards, get it set correctly.
Set the chains at 1st and 10.
And Cadillac will start, John, at the 43.
And they got enough time. It's 3:42. It's good field position. They're going to have to pick up a few first downs, but they're in good space to finish this off and go into halftime tied up or 7-6.
Drive number 3 for the Vikings. Gurdon going to throw for the second time today. Abdallah bringing the pressure from the backside, and Wachel cleans it up. A big-time play and a big-time loss. Country Day blowing up the play.
Brought down in the backfield by number 40, Nick Wachel.
Great pressure there by Abdallah. Gurdon did a nice job just holding on there. I was a little surprised they came right out throwing the ball. That was impressive.
Look, it's the state championship game. If there's ever a time for Cadillac to open up the playbook, today is the day.
That's right. You got to shake it up a little.
Aiden will run it this time. And he gets back across the original line of scrimmage. Third down coming up. Danny McLean made the stop.
Will Legan and Danny McLean on the tackle for Country Day.
They've used Gurdon now a few times just on an open option. They're not even reading inside now. They're just trying to get an extra blocker. They're moving a back in motion to get in front of him and letting him come down and try and see if we can do it, optioning the end of the line.
Are you surprised that Country Day is letting Cadillac burn off some time here? Not calling a timeout?
No, I think they're pretty confident in what they can do in their defense. These guys have not been a quick strike play, so I think they're starting to feel pretty good about where they're at.
Reinhold off the pitch, got a great block on the outside. Chris Reinhold, first down for Cadillac. And now the Vikings offense
Number 6, Chris Reinhold.
is in go position. They're across midfield.
He is pushed out of bounds by number 13, Brandon.
Nice job here. Here's Reinhold. Watch him. Bam. Huge block there. Johnston just set that corner and let him get to the edge. Reinhold.
Chris comes into this game with 32 carries on the year. Couple of touchdowns. He's caught it once for 56 yards. That's a good average on here receptions.
Not bad.
Give up the middle, and Cadillac gains maybe a few inches. McKinley on the carry. Mathis Miller on the stop.
McKinley, the ball carrier. Mathis Miller on the tackle for the Yellow Jackets. A gain of 1 on the play. Second down and 9.
Again, John, this is the situation for Cadillac where they're not a team that's built to go quick. They do have a couple of timeouts, but you have to start thinking about going quick at some point here.
Yeah, they're going to have, here they are.
Gurdon to throw, and it's high, and picked off. He was looking for Johnston. McLean went up and got it. The senior with the memory in the state title game.
That was a tremendous interception by McLean. Watch him go up and high point the ball, keep his foot in bounds, and make that play. What an athletic play by Danny McLean.
Man, that's close.
Very close.
I think he gets both down. I think this would have been good on Sundays.
I think it would have been.
1.
Previous play is now under review.
2.
Yeah.
It's that left foot.
Yep.
It's the left.
An interception, but it is now under review.
That's the question, of course. That's going to be so awfully close to overturn. That's the old indisputable video evidence. And remember, John, the rule here in the MHSAA State Football Finals, when in doubt, whatever they called on the field, that's going to stand.
Yeah. Here it is. Watch him high point that ball and keep. Boy, that is close. From this angle, it's tough to tell. He definitely got his right foot in.
I mean, you've got an official who's right there. He's got a much better look at it live.
First down.
They did indeed confirm the ruling. You cannot get closer to stepping out of bounds. What an awesome play by Danny McLean.
Unbelievable.
And now Country Day up by 6. All 3 timeouts, and they start at their 32. Potential scoring plays and turnovers are what can be reviewed. Man, going deep. A couple of guys were out there, but he missed them both. Yarberry the closest to it.
Well, they took a shot. What happened there? They got too close to each other. There should have been bigger separation. Both of them were running past the defenders, but they brought each other, the defenders together, and it was easy for them to cover both. That was, I think they need a little more separation.
Coach McLean surveying the situation. Again, you're up by 6, 1:36 to go, and 3 timeouts. This is an offense that likes to run it more than they throw it. Man, going nowhere. Colin Johnston, the first one there. Jay Goulash there, too.
And the ball carrier. Number 40, Johnston on the tackle.
This is interesting to watch, John, from a perspective of time and who uses their timeouts. Country Day gets the ball to start the second half. So I think that's why they're content in this situation of, we don't need to rush it down the field. We're up. Let's get to the locker room with the lead and then regroup. At least I would think that's the thought.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he wants to make a turnover or mistake here. If they would have hit something the first play, it might have been different. But I think he will be content to run this out.
They will call the timeout. Play clock is running down. Third down coming up for Country Day after the break. Earlier today in the game right before us in D6, Montague winning the state championship. The Collins duo, the son, Patrick Collins, the coach, Patrick Collins, the son, Drew Collins, combining on the state championship victory. Congratulations to Montague and that outstanding team in Division 6, defeating Clinton in the state championship. Earlier today, we saw the swan song of Brady Rose for Mona Shores, eking out a victory over the Warren De La Salle Pilots and Centerville in our first game of the day, all the way back at 10 o'clock in the morning, defeating Ubley 22-0.
Well, I tell you, that Rose is fun to watch. My gosh, what a football player that kid is.
What a legacy he leaves in Muskegon. Third and long, man stepping up in the pocket, spinning away from pressure, loading, throwing. Oh, it's incomplete. He was hit as he threw, Grove the intended target. This is an awesome effort by Brandon Mann just to get this thing away somehow.
Well, you got a little glimpse of his athleticism there. I mean, that was all him escaping trouble. They had great penetration there from the outside. He stepped up, climbed the pocket, spun out, still kept his feet, and just was hit as he threw, almost was able to make that play.
Rude had the hit. I mean, you can't blame the intended receiver, Grove, for dropping that thing. That's a knuckleballing football. That's like one of us trying to catch Tim Wakefield in his prime. Man boots it away. Cadillac avoids it, and this is going to take an awesome roll. An excellent punt from Brandon Mann. It's down at the 11. This guy does a little bit of everything for them, huh?
Very, very versatile. Offense, defense, special teams. Yeah, he's a football player.
A 59-yard punt. Jack Fox, watch out. So Cadillac, an offense that has thrown it 3 or 4 times today. They've thrown 1 touchdown pass all season. They've got to go nearly the length of the field. 2 timeouts, 29 seconds. John, I think you're taking a couple of kneel downs here and getting yourself to the locker room.
Yep, and regrouping, and I think that they're in position. They were able to keep this this game tight, right? And they've got to stop them on the first drive and see if they can put something together here the second half.
Country Day twice drove it inside the Cadillac 10, but had to settle for 2 field goals. Gurdon pitches left. Cadillac not content just to take this thing into the locker room. That's a good play for Colin Johnston and a first down for the Vikings.
Well, that's what they have to do. They have to start hitting the outside and pitching and putting pressure on those defensive ends and corners, because they have not had much success really trying to go up the middle on Country Day.
Timeout. You could hear it through the mics we've got on the field. Cody Mallory calls it for Cadillac. They'll have 1 remaining. Tomorrow's games, after we finish up here tonight at Ford Field, we are anticipating some more high-flying football. Starts tomorrow on Fox Sports Detroit at 10 a.m. when New Lothrop takes on Traverse City St. Francis. Later on in the day, we'll have D7, Division 1, Division 5, and Division 3 on Fox Sports Detroit, Fox Sports Detroit Plus, and on the Fox Sports Go app. John, what games are you looking forward to tomorrow out of that slate?
Well, I'd love to see West Bloomfield and Davison. I think that's going to be great. Donovan Edwards is a special back, and Davison, they do nothing but just come at you and hit you. And then that last game of the night is going to be, you're doing that one, Evan. That game, River Rouge and DeWitt, that I think could be a real barn burner.
Marion Rabowski against Ty Holtz at the quarterback spot. That one's going to be fun to watch. Let's see what Cadillac does here. They did just call the timeout with 16 seconds left. Gurdon pitches again. Johnston lowered his shoulder into the Country Day defender, who is having absolutely none of it. Caleb Mathis Miller near the pile. And that will take us to the locker room and halftime of the Division IV state final here at Ford Field. 1 more half of football to go in a day filled with football here at Ford Field. Cadillac and Country Day in a tight one so far. Country Day has won state championships before, but they have not won one here at Ford Field. All of the state championships came back at the Silverdome in '86, '95, and '99. Brandon Mann, their quarterback, was quoted earlier this week saying, "We never want to feel the heartbreak of what we felt when we lost last year again. Our team's mission is to win the state championship." On the other side, the Cadillac Vikings have never been here before. And they've acquitted themselves pretty darn well so far.
They sure have, you know, and I think this is the kind of game they like, you know, to be able to hold those guys to 2 field goals in the first half. You know, they get a stop. This first possession by Country Day is going to be very important. And I think it's going to come down. I think it's going to be a tight game. There's no quit in this Cadillac team.
Country Day in front, and we talked to their head coach, Dan McLean, downstairs with Trevor Thompson.
Well, Coach, that was a smash-mouth first half of football. Does it play into your hands or their hands? What do you think of the way it started?
You know, good football game. We got to, you know, cash in on when we get down in the red zone and score touchdowns. I think that's important, and hopefully we can do that when we open the second half. But it's a good football game, good defensive game, old-fashioned football.
You're inside the 10 twice, and as you just alluded to, weren't able to cash in with touchdowns. How come?
You know, just had some, you know, couple of assignment errors, and they, brought some pressure, and a good team. You know, it's state championship, so yeah.
What kind of adjustments are you hoping to make here in the second half?
We want to go score a touchdown. We want to get this possession and go down the field and cash one in.
Good luck and thanks for this, Coach.
Thank you.
Evan, back up to you.
Coach McLean has been coaching at Country Day for 23 years. He won a state championship in year number 2. He's going for championship number 2 here tonight. After 2 quarters of football at Ford Field, we've got a good one in the D4 final.
The MHSAA Football State Championships on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. By Meyer. Meyer knows when we support the home team, we all win. And by the Sparrow Health System. Wear a mask. Save a life. Sparrow Health System. Welcome back to the Division Championships here in Division 4. Country Day with a 6-0 lead over Cadillac here at Ford Field at the half. Now, we all know this season was far from normal. With stops and starts and starts and stops all over again, it all culminated in the Division Championships being held here at Ford Field nonetheless. And for a look back at a season for the ages, one we'll never forget, here's John Keating.
For as long as the game has been played, a big part of the test of football has been stops and starts.
Go. 1, 2, 3.
Pivoting and acceleration.
He's into the clear. No one's going to catch him. Touchdown.
No, and then yes. But the phrase stops and starts is the essence of this unthinkable autumn in the state of Michigan. It was a football season that wasn't going to happen, and then it was, and then it did, and for a handful of weeks, we got a renewed glimpse at a glorious slice of normalcy.
And look at him punch it to the outside. Stay on his feet. He will not be denied. Back to pass. Looking for it all. Got him.
It's not a game that can be played on eggshells. We all trod nervously around the obvious concerns of the time, trying to keep masks and hopes up simultaneously. But the virus began rattling again, and with just 3 weeks to crown state champions, another stop was required, and the test just became tougher.
When the season started, we was rolling real good, and now we're just trying to get back what we had.
It's tough because snow is real cold, but everybody excited. We got the mentality to do what we got to do to make sure we win this state title.
As a senior, honestly, it means a lot for us to that we actually are able to finish.
We're not done, not satisfied, so it's time to get some work done.
This team kept hope, and they stayed together. If you give up, then the rest of the team is going to give up with you.
Hey, we fired up! Hey, we fired up! I like to be yourself, pause up!
A generation of kids will have to overcome not just being teenagers, which is tough enough, but those who will have endured a pandemic. Imagine this impossible challenge. Stay apart while you stay together. A socially distanced brotherhood of, we still got this. The bond of team would be tested for those who still harbored thoughts of a state championship and would shrug aside the prospects of playing amid frigid temperatures and within Michigan snowflakes. But now they've moved inside, the reward for a season they'll never forget. And all they're playing for now is realized dreams. In light of the world in which we live these days, there is something extra special about that. Kids with dreams. It doesn't get much better than this.
We've already crowned 3 champions here at Ford Field today. We'll crown 1 more before the night is over and 4 more tomorrow, and that is definitely something we're celebrating. We're back to Ford Field with more at the half after this. The MHSAA football finals continue tomorrow here on Fox Sports Detroit, beginning at 10 a.m. when New Lothrop takes on Traverse City St. Francis. We'll have divisions 7, 1, 5, and 3 tomorrow on Fox Sports Detroit, Fox Sports Detroit Plus, and Fox Sports Go. More at halftime between Cadillac and Country Day coming your way right after another timeout here on Fox Sports Detroit. The MHSAA Football State Championships on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by Goodman Acker, Detroit's trusted law firm. By Chocolate Milk, the official beverage of the MHSAA. By Addicts, visit addictsportswear.com to start your custom order today. And by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. Mask up, Michigan, spread hope, not COVID. When we come back to Ford Field, we'll take you up to the booth. Evan and John will break down the first half of action between Cadillac and Country Day, who lead by 6 at the break.
The MHSAA Football State Championships on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by the Henry Ford Health System, all for you. They're also brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, the presenting sponsor of the MHSAA Scholar Athlete Award. Halftime of the Division IV state final between Country Day and Cadillac. Country Day on top 6-0 after the first half. Evan Stockton back alongside John Wengler. And John, that was a first half dominated by the D's.
It really was, Evan. You know, this is old-fashioned football. It's a state championship. A yard's a yard. This interception by Danny McClain really was the highlight of the first half as far as plays, athleticism. But it's, you know, it's one of those games where it's like a heavyweight fight. You know, they're going blow to blow, and it's probably going to come down to the end. I think this drive, this first drive, it's always very important, the first drive of the second half, because it sets the tempo. And if Country Day is able to score, it's going to be very difficult for Cadillac because they don't score real quick. The stats here, to me, you know, they tell the story. It's very, very similar. The biggest discrepancy really is the passing yards. Cadillac hasn't been able to get on the board there, but the one turnover for Cadillac, and then, you know, penalty-wise, it's pretty even. So, you know, as the score indicates, it's a pretty even first half.
Cadillac here for the first time in school history. Country Day hoping for their first state championship since 1998. Who comes out on top? We find out next. Country Day is 0-5 in their last 5 trips to the state championship game, but they're hoping for another one here tonight. They last won one in 1999. On the other side, Cadillac has never been here before. Down by 6 as we start the second half. Cody Mallory standing by with Trevor Thompson.
Coach, not for the faint of heart there in the first half. Some smash-mouth football. Is that the style you're hoping to play here in the second?
Well, we're hoping to play it a heck of a lot better than that. They're a good team. They're going to force mistakes, but we're not helping ourselves out. We're coming up short on some of the technique that these guys have been executing since junior high. So it's just a matter of refocusing and getting back to doing what they've been doing for years now.
How much are you buoyed by the fact that your defense was able to hold them out of the end zone inside the 10 twice?
That is huge. We offensively really haven't helped our defense out much. They've come up big twice. That's a big deal. They've left the door open for us. So we have to have a really good possession, or defensive possession here, and get the ball moving.
And your closing message to your guys before coming out for the second half was what?
Do what got you here. Do what got you here and do it together.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep, thanks.
Evan, take it away.
Trevor, thanks. You know, what I take away from that conversation, John, is before the game, you could understand if Cadillac was a little nervous, a little bit anxious.
Yeah.
They've never been here before. They're not nervous anymore. They're here to play.
now the butterflies are out, right? Now it's they each bloodied each other's nose, and now we're going to see who's the better football team. As he alluded to, that defense has got to come up big on this first possession and then get the ball back, and they got to get that offense moving because they really have not. They had a couple of decent drives early. They picked up some first downs, but they haven't had anything really consistent in the first half offensively.
Cadillac is one of the cooler stories across Michigan high school football this year. They upset undefeated Edwardsburg last week. They stuffed them on a 2-point try with under 1 minute to go to get here. And then the week before that, Cadillac was down 20-6 at halftime in the regional against Forest Hills Eastern. If you believe in signs that things are supposed to happen, well, Cadillac fans will be happy to hear this, John. They have trailed at halftime in each of the last 2 weeks, and they trail this week too.
Well, let's hope third time's a charm for Cadillac. They're a tough group, and they're resilient, and they're not going to roll over. They're here. This is what they've lived for and dreamed of. And what Coach said, do what got you here, since you've been doing it since junior high, and then do it together. He's always preaching together, teamwork, and that's really what's gotten them here, is they've been able to stay together, being down at halftime and playing these great opponents.
Hess kicks it away, bounds near the 20. Kalen Cooper picks it up. Good return for Country Day, just shy of the 40. There is another flag on the return.
Cooper on the return for Country Day. Number 13, Enyart. Number 6, Reinhold on the tackle. There is a penalty.
Chris Reinhold helped to make the tackle for Cadillac. As of now, the drive slated to start at the 38, but we check the flag.
During the run, we have a block in the back, number 70 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty will be first down.
So that'll back up Country Day as they start this drive. John, in that first half, the Yellow Jackets had no problems moving the football. They had a 17-play drive. They had a 9-play drive, but they stalled out twice inside the red zone. How do you punch it into the end zone now?
Well, they have got to continue. They're moving the football. They're moving the chains. They just have to not make mistakes in the red zone. They got to be able to make some plays and finish off their drives.
This one starts at the 30, and it starts with a Brandon Mann pass. It's caught by McLean, and he's wrestled down just shy of the 40. That's the line to gain.
Pass complete to number 42, McLean.
They love that flanker screen. They've thrown it 3 times now, and it's great, because they get Danny McLean out there in space, and he's shown the ability to make people miss and pick up good yardage.
Seen Brandon Mann throw it a few times today for Country Day. Entered the game with a lot of ability running the football. Had the game-sealing 21-yard touchdown run last week. He runs it here. He didn't need much. He didn't gain much, but he does have the first down for Country Day.
It's such an asset when you have a quarterback who can run, because you have to assign at least one defensive player to spy him and keep an eye on him, and it adds a whole new wrinkle and dimension for an offense, and it gives defensive coordinators headaches when you got a mobile quarterback like Mann.
Well, not only a mobile quarterback, but he's a 6'4", 215-pound mobile quarterback.
He's a load.
Still just a junior. Yergo running left. Got away from the first, got away from the second and third. Parker Yergo, what a run. First down, Country Day, just shy of the 40.
Parker Yergo, the ball carrier.
Great athleticism. You got a little peek at the feet that Parker Yergo has. Watch his vision. Watch him be able to make these shallow cuts. He stiff arms a man, and then he gets to the outside. Great feet and vision by Parker Yergo.
Junior with a burst. Now they popcorn pass it to Jackson Norman. This play blown up. Johnston was there. Cochran was there. The Cadillac D surges Country Day back.
We've called Johnston's name a few times, coming out of that middle linebacker position. Watch him go side to side, deliver a blow. He's been all over the field. And not only Johnstone, but there's about 8 defenders for Cadillac trying to get their head on the football. So they are not stopping one lick. Got great pursuit.
Johnston, Cochran have combined for 12 tackles in the game. Yergo found space again, and a little bit of a block on the outside. Parker Yergo is refusing to go down. It'll set up a 3rd down and medium for Country Day. But my goodness, how can you not be impressed by his last couple of runs?
Well, I tell you, and he's only carried the ball. He's averaging over 7 yards a carry, over a couple hundred yards. But what we've seen here on this drive, great feet, great vision. He's got a nice stiff arm. He keeps his feet moving. Yeah, what a weapon.
He's a transfer from Stony Creek. There's a couple of transfers who have come to Country Day from other schools on this team. Boy, they're sure happy to have Parker.
Well, that's the thing about Country Day. They have a stable of backs that they can run. A lot of change up in there.
Direct snap, Gabe Winovich. And he's stonewalled right near the 35. Surged forward. It is still 4th down. I think that was a play call for Coach McLean and Country Day, John. I think they're going for it here on 4th down. They wanted to make it a shorter 4th down.
Yep, they sure are.
Quick to the line. Man sneaks it forward. And he moves the sticks for Country Day.
Man the ball carrier. Number 40, Colin Johnston. Number 79, Carson Razio on the tackle.
Man has sneaked it forward a couple of times today, John, and that time they got to the line quickly. Do you think that helps in a spot like that?
Absolutely, right? Because sometimes they're still running guys in and out on defense, making substitutions. The guys aren't set. As long as that offensive line is set, because sometimes they're not set and they get jumpy and there's an offside, but they did that time to perfection.
Parker Yergo back in the game. The football's back in his hands. We couldn't shake that tackle. Jakin Metzger, who we did not see for the final few minutes of the first half. Good to see he's back in the game, and he sure is a strong tackler in the open field.
Well, he's shown a couple times he's not afraid to stick his head in there, and he'll come up. He's a sure tackler, and like you said, he got hit pretty well that first half, and it's great to see him bounce back in the second half because they're going to need him.
When you're 5'9", 145, you cannot be scared to tackle somebody.
No, big heart, no fear.
He kind of encapsulates this Cadillac football team. 2nd down and 8. Yergo again. Could not split the Cadillac sandwich. A couple of guys slowed him up. Derek Rude was there along with Metzger. And here comes another 3rd down for Country Day. They have been very good on 3rd down tonight. Question here, John, becomes, do you throw it? Do you run it? Are you playing with the thought in mind, we're going to go for it on 4th down if that comes up?
I'd like to see him. They do that short bunch, and they slip that pass into the tight end in the flat in the first half that he dropped. I'd like to see him come back to that.
They throw it left. Behind the intended target, Yarberry turned around, made the catch, and got the 1st down for Country Day. They're now 6 of 10 on 3rd downs tonight.
Great athletic play by Yarberry. He's in the slot. Watch him stop. He's outside. The slot stalks down the defensive back. Yarberry comes in from the wideout position, just a little stop route. The ball was behind him. He adjusted, and he picked up a huge 1st down to keep this drive alive.
And not only that, Country Day is eating into this 3rd quarter clock. Half the quarter is gone already. Man keeps. Brandon Mann, busting tackles, refusing to go down. The junior quarterback inside the 5.
Well, Coach McLean said all he does is make plays when you need him, and that was a big play. They're bringing a guy across the formation. They fake. Here's Mann just picking his spot. Huge hole opened up there on the left side by that left side of the offensive line of Country Day, and Mann did the rest.
Tonight, Country Day has had drives of 17 plays, 9 plays. Here's play number 12 on this drive to start the third quarter. Winovich running left. He got the edge. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Country Day.
How about that freshman scoring in the state championship game in his first year in high school?
Scored a touchdown in the semis last week. He scores the first touchdown of the Division IV state final tonight.
Great job on the left side of the offensive line there by Country Day. All they do, they bring a sweep to the left. They get to the edge, and Winovich doesn't have to do much, but he gets in that end zone, gets around the corner.
Country Day twice tonight before that drive had gotten into the red zone and had not scored. No longer is that a problem. Graham Doman's extra point out of the snap of Semi Urjevac is through, and Country Day's lead is getting larger. Gabe Winovich, the freshman, familial pride at Country Day, picking up after his brother Josh. Country Day up by 2 scores. Tonight, Country Day is seeking their first state championship since the finals moved to Ford Field. The last time they won was back in 1999. At the Pontiac Silverdome, a 39-32 victory over Muskegon Orchard View. Coach Dan McLean has been coaching at Country Day for 36 years. He's been the head coach for 23 years. He won a state championship in year number 2. They haven't won a state championship since. They're 0-5 in the last 5 games. And John, we mentioned this at the top of the broadcast. You can sense among that team, among that coaching staff, entering tonight's game, you know what? It's time to bust that slump. It's time to put another state championship trophy in our case.
Well, when we talked to him this week, you know, you could just tell. And there was great resolve by Coach. There was great resolve as he talked about his players. You know, they love football. They've stayed together. They've overcome the COVID, missing a couple games. And as you said, right, you don't have to say anymore. This is going to be, they want this to be their night, and it's time.
Johnston pummeled. Great special teams play. Jason Abra has made a couple of nice tackles on kick coverage for Country Day tonight.
Well, it's going to be so imperative that these guys answer. They have got to answer and put together a drive and get 7 on the board here, because, you know, the way both teams are playing, you're not going to get a lot of possessions here the rest of this game, because they're both, you know, able to string long drives together and take time off the clock. They have got to come down here and get a touchdown to stay in this game.
Cadillac has attempted passes about 4 or 5 times tonight. Again, we mentioned earlier that Cadillac hasn't thrown a touchdown pass since the second quarter of the first game of the season. They will keep it up the middle. Caleb McKinley ahead for a few. John, if you're Cadillac and an offense that likes to move at, I think I'm saying this as nicely as possible, a glacial pace, how long can you keep operating at that pace when you're down by 2 scores in the state championship game in the second half?
Well, it's not crucial right now. I mean, it's not, you know, life or death right now. They got to do what they can do, but they have got to string a drive together. I don't want them throwing the ball all over the lot right now, but they have got to pick up some first downs and at least get on the board, get 7 to stay in this game.
Gurdon kept it and sets up a 3rd and short for Cadillac. Caleb Tiernan and Nick Wachel combining on the stop.
Number 40, Nick Wachel on the tackle for Country Day.
John, nobody in this spot wants to hear about moral victories. You're at the state championship game, for goodness sakes. You want to win the thing. But when you consider the fact that Cadillac was 1-8 2 years ago, and they are here tonight, that's an accomplishment in itself.
It's been a tremendous turnaround, and they got a lot of young guys who will be coming back. And you know, this is they've come here to win. They playing loose. They're in the game. They got to come up and get us a score here. But again, they've done an unbelievable job turning this thing around.
On that play, the pitch to the left. Reinhold was tackled by McLean. He was short by about 1.5 yards. We'll call it 2. So here's 4th down and 2. And again, to that point, Cadillac going for it here. First ever trip to the state title game. We're not holding anything back.
Well, they know they have to score.
Gurdon, right, and he got the first down. The drive continues.
And that's the one thing about this offense. They're used to, 4 downs. They're used to, if they pick up 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, they don't mind doing 4th and short and not punting. They're used to it. It's not like something that scares them. They're comfortable being in that position. Now, being in this type of field position makes them a little nervous if they don't pick it up, but that was a great pickup for them.
It's a battle-tested crew. They've trailed each of the past 2 weeks. Give middle for not very much. McKinley on the carry. Whole swarm of Yellow Jackets bring him down. And unfortunately, we've got an injured Viking on the field. That's Sam Mallory, the coach's son.
Official timeout.
You sure hope he's okay. You hope nobody has an injury in a game like this. Timeout at Ford Field. Back in a minute. Cadillac's got the football. Great to see Sam Mallory walking off the field under his own power. So many storylines in a state championship game, but maybe my favorite is that both head coaches are coaching their sons in this game. Cody Mallory, the head coach for Cadillac, coaching Sam. He freely admitted to us the other day, yes, I coach him a lot harder than I coach the other guys. To his credit, he feels bad about it. McKinley up the middle, crossing the 40 and setting up a 3rd down and shorter. Speak of the devil, the other coach's son, Danny McLean, makes the stop for Country Day.
I'll tell you, Danny McLean is playing one whale of a game. He has been all over the field, catching passes, intercepting, making tackles. What a football player.
Came into tonight with a team-leading 68 tackles. He's the final of 3 McLean sons to play at Detroit Country Day. And you know the whole family is watching somewhere.
Yes, they are. What a great family.
Gurdon on the keeper. Took 1 hit. Pushed back by McLean. Rinse, repeats. Awfully close to the 1st down in a drive where Cadillac needs points.
Number 42, McLean. Number 48, Mathis Miller on the tackle.
Here it is. Gurdon's just coming down the line. It's a read option. Does a nice job turning it up, lowering his shoulder, picking up some extra yards. Great effort. That's what he's good at. He's keeping his feet moving, lowering his shoulder. McLean just comes and cleans him up. Great effort on that play.
They will likely bring out the chains for a measurement here. That's what they're doing. Is Gurdon was awfully close to moving the sticks. Cadillac has converted on 4th down earlier in this drive. My goodness. Where's Gene Steratore and his index card when you need him, huh? They gave the 1st down to him.
Yes, they did. That's 2 big 1st downs on this drive.
I'd mentioned the cliche that football's a game of inches, but that's just way too easy, and I'm not going to do it.
You're over your limit on cliches today, Evan.
I haven't used that many. I think that was the first one I used, and I technically didn't even use it, John.
You sure? Okay. All right. We'll strike that one.
You know, you need your partner to stick up for you. What's going on here? Give up the middle. Noah Cochran gaining a couple for Cadillac.
Noah Cochran, the ball carrier.
This drive so far, Cadillac has converted on a 4th down, on a 3rd down, but still they're moving at their pace. And again, you have to wonder how much longer they can keep doing this down by 2 scores.
If they score this time, it's okay. You know, depending on, they're going to have to play defense and shut those guys down and get the ball back, because they are not going to score quickly unless there's a turnover.
Gurdon stumbled initially, did get back to his feet, and then the cavalry came to get him. Wachel wrapped him up in a bear hug, and it's going to be 3rd down and long.
Nick Waito and Caleb Mathis Miller on the tackle for Detroit.
And this is their worst nightmare, 3rd and long. I mean, if it's 3rd and 4 or 5 or 3, but when you get 3rd and long, they don't have a lot of plays in their repertoire that they can pick up a 3rd and long first down. That's the challenge.
Cadillac on play number 10 of the most important drive of their season. Burden will run it. Pushes his body, leans his body across midfield up to the 49. The line to gain is the 45. 4th down and 4. Likely will start the 4th quarter. Cadillac content to take us there. Well, Cody Mallory, you got your team here. You've brought your team back in the 2nd half each of the past 2 weeks. You've got the ball to start the 4th quarter. You are here for the state championship for the first time ever. What is up both of these teams' sleeves? The 4th quarter of the D4 final from Ford Field in Detroit, coming up next.
Well, folks, Cadillac is a one-school town, but it's got a lot of history. They opened their doors back in 1877 to nearly 800 students. They play in the Big North Conference and drove over 200 miles to get here today. And we mentioned this is their first time to the state championship, but it's not their first brush with greatness. Back in 1974, their high school team was struggling. They turned on some KISS music to inspire the team. They went on a winning streak. KISS heard about that and decided, hey, let's roll out to Cadillac and play a gig for these kids. And there you see them right there. The legendary rock band KISS in 1975 playing at Cadillac High School because the kids liked the music back then. My first ever favorite band, Evan, KISS. I wish I'd have been at that show.
Trevor, thanks. I mean, why did we not invite them to today's game? That is just a missed opportunity on all of our parts.
No question.
We are in Detroit Rock City, after all. 4th down 4. Reinhold off the pitch. He's got the first down and more. The Cadillac drive continues. This is the deepest they have gotten into Country Day territory all day.
Here it is, just a toss sweep. Here he is coming out in motion. We're going to toss the ball right here to Rhino. Watch the great kick out block there. That set up the whole thing. Huge run there. Old school toss sweep with motion. Great play. Big first down to keep this drive going.
13-yard gain on 4th and 4. Gurdon running right and meeting a bunch of Yellow Jackets again. Joe Miller had the first hit for Country Day. McLean helped to clean it up.
Number 3, Joe Miller. Number 42, Danny McLean on the tackle.
Danny McLean's got to be double digits pretty soon on tackles. He's been all over the field.
This is his final game for Country Day. 9 tackles in the game for Danny McLean. Now 77 on the season. What a ball player he is. Pitch left to Reinhold, going left this time, and it doesn't work nearly as well as the pitch to the right side did. Pick your poison on that play. We can say Brandon Mann made the tackle. We can say Luke Grove made the tackle. Whole lot of Country Day guys were there. It's 3rd and long.
Great job there setting the edge. They tried to go outside. They had great penetration upfield. They turned them in. That's exactly how you defense that option. Look at that, turning it right into all his pursuit, all his buddies. Great team tackling.
Gurdon running. Got a few and pushed hard back. Will Lega, the senior captain, with an emphatic throwback. And now another test for Cadillac. This is their best drive of the game. But on a 4th and 6 like this, your season is on the line.
They got to have something up their sleeve here. I think he's going to have to go play action. Leak that tight end out into the flat.
You called it, John. Play action. He's looking deep, and the pass is broken up. Cadillac wants a flag. Rude is pleading for it. He's not going to get it. Cooper had the coverage. And Cadillac is still looking for a flag that's not going to come.
Not happy.
Rude falls incomplete.
Well, they tried to draw him in. It was play action. They leaked the tight end out a little bit behind him. He felt there was a push there at the end. Not a happy camper.
It is 1st and 10, Detroit Country Day.
Gurdon was upset. Rude covering both, using both of his hands to cover his face. But it's an incomplete pass. The Cadillac drive ends. 15 plays, 45 yards. Took nearly 8 minutes. And no points across the board. Yarberry off the feed from Mann. Flag behind the play. Jacob Yarberry does have a first down right around the 45. But the flag was thrown, usually where we get holding.
There is a penalty flag on the play. The tackle for Cadillac by number 40, Colin Johnston.
Jacob Yarberry is committed to Michigan Tech. Let's check the flag.
We have holding, number 75 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Penalties on Will Legon, senior who started his high school career at Brother Rice. He's come to Country Day and he says, I love these guys. This is the team. I fit in. I'm happy I came here.
And he made captain this year.
Yes, he did.
Evan, that's a great accomplishment.
Coach McLean would know something about Brother Rice. He played football there.
Yes, he did.
And then he went to Illinois, so apparently he could only exclusively play at schools with the color orange.
Well, he did play at St. Bede in grade school, and they weren't orange.
You're busting up my narrative, John. There's the give for a few for Country Day.
I'm just telling you how far back we go.
Cole
Wilhelmy on the carry. And the other day we were talking to Coach McLean, and John was mentioning how he played with him, and I said, Coach, you want to feel old? I played against John's kids.
Okay, here we go.
And I think John no longer wants to talk about that. So we will no longer talk about that.
Well, it's been great to see what he's done over these 36 years coaching, and the accomplishments and the kids he's touched. And it's been a joy to see what they've done at Country Day.
Mann wants to take a shot on 2nd and long. He doesn't have the time to. Blake Swiger wrestles him back.
Tackled in the backfield by number 64, Blake Swiger for Cadillac.
That's just what Cadillac needed there. Swiger getting great penetration. They were trying to take a shot. Watch Swiger coming in, beating that block, fighting it off, and coming in and finishing him off. Here he is, just a little swim technique. Great effort there by Swiger. He would not quit. He bumped around in there and came up with a huge sack to put these guys in a tough situation.
The loss of 9 sets up 3rd and forever. Mann will throw, zips it, and he's got it caught. Long way to go for Grove. He lost the football. Yarberry does fall on the football near midfield for Country Day.
Huge break there for Country Day. Here it is.
Mann, pass complete to number
just a little
29,
outcut. Grove's running, ball pops out. Yarberry very alertly picks it up. They pick up another 10 yards.
That was Johnston who stripped it out. My goodness, how could the game potentially have swung, John, if Cadillac falls on that ball somehow?
That's what they had needed, that sack, and then they needed a big play there.
Yarberry was Johnny on the spot. Yergo out across the line of scrimmage and gained maybe a yard. Whole host of Vikings there on pursuit. Trenton Dennis had the first hit.
Yergo, the ball carrier. Johnston and Trenton Dennis.
Parker Yergo has had quite the day for Country Day. On the first drive of the second half, the man just refused to go down on a couple of runs. And that's been the story of the game for both of these teams, John. It's not flashy. It's not sexy. This is old-fashioned football.
Yep, first downs, picking up yards, tough yards, no turnovers.
Here go again for not very much. Pushed out of bounds by Keenan Szymanski, the sophomore. Third down.
They need a big play or turnover because it's a two-score game, and these guys, they have got to make something happen.
How do you try to create that turnover defensively?
Well, they did a good job. They're trying to strip the ball, as you saw there, and that was exactly what they needed. Just that they weren't able to recover it. But you gotta tackle the football and hope you can get a fumble, or maybe there's on a special teams you make a punt, you get a block punt. There's a lot of ways, but it's the clock is not in their favor right now.
Another third down for Country Day. Man throws, Yarberry catches, and he couldn't shake the tackle of Keenan Szymanski.
Szymanski did a really good job keeping that ball inside, making that tackle. Yarberry is very dangerous. He could have picked up the first down. That's exactly what they needed. Here it is. Just a little turnout. Now watch Szymanski. He kept him inside, fought off that block, took him out of bounds. Great individual defensive back effort there.
Man remains in the game as the punter. Keenan Szymanski back deep. Brandon's boots. Bounds inside the 15. Szymanski picks it up. And Yergo pushes him out of bounds. Just about 6 minutes to go. Country Day seeking state championship #1 since the year 2000. They're getting close. Back at Ford Field, Cadillac has the football back, but in their first state championship game, their hopes of winning their first ever state championship are dimming. Country Day up 13-0. And at home, you've all heard of the luck of the Irish. Well, John, today it has been the luck of the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, it really has. The ball pops up there. Great heads-up play. Here it is. Yarberry makes another heads-up play that saved that drive. It kept it alive. The ball, it's an oblong ball, right? It bounces different ways, and Country Day has been very fortunate today. It's bounced right for them.
A couple of times on both of those fumbles, Cadillac could have had the football in awesome starting field position, but Country Day has had a lucky rabbit's foot or two tonight. Reinhold on the pitch right. Got away from a whole host of Country Day defenders initially, and now finally Country Day brings the man down. Brandon Mann finally makes the tackle. And there is a flag down.
Jalen Hunter, there is a penalty flag on the play.
Joe is looking up at the scoreboard at himself.
We have a personal foul, face mask against the defense. 15-yard penalty results in a first down.
Cadillac needs a little bit of luck themselves to get back in this game, John, and that's a good start.
Yep, they got to score quickly and stop these guys and get the ball back. I mean, it's that time now. It's crunch time. I mean, there's no. They have got to come away with points on this drive.
Well, Joe Miller was looking up at the scoreboard, hoping to see a replay and hoping that he didn't actually grab the face mask of Chris Reinhold. But unfortunately, my friend, you did. That's 15 yards.
These damn tapes and these replays, you can't hide from them.
Yes, that is true. That is about videotape. That's how it works. Here's the give to McKinley up the middle. Caleb with one of his better runs of the ball game. He was fantastic for Cadillac in their win against the Edwardsburg Eddies in the semis. 77 rushing yards and 2 second-half running touchdowns. They sure need a spark from him right now.
And we haven't seen him much this afternoon or this evening. They did a nice job. He had a good run. There was a nice hole open by the left side of that offensive line there for Cadillac.
Play action for Gurdon. Dropping back and stepping into a sack. Billy Abdallah has come on the pressure a couple of times tonight. He just got home for sack number 5 of the season. Caleb Tiernan brought the house too.
Here it is, Abdallah coming off the edge and turning, coming up the middle there.
3rd down and 5.
Great pressure coming from the left side. Abdallah stays with him, falls back in it, and he met his buddy turning, all 6'7" for the sack.
3rd down pitch right, and Cadillac's going to have a 4th down coming up. Harsh on the carry, Jalen Hunter on the tackle. Senior playing his final game for Country Day. He's starting to feel the juice as they get closer to a state championship.
Yeah, I think they can all smell it now. They got a big 1st down here that they're trying to pick up for Cadillac.
Play of the season for both of these teams. Gurdon gives, McKinley runs, powering his way down near the 45. Cadillac converts on 4th down for the 2nd time in the 2nd half. Gain of 9.
No quitting Cadillac, I'll tell you that. Just straight ahead power football. 4th and 3. They knew the season was on the line. They picked it up. Just a straight dive there. Watch this hole that was opened up. Great blocking there by Johnston. They opened it up.
Gurdon running left again, gains a couple of yards. John, this is what we were talking about earlier on in this half. Cadillac likes to operate at this pace. That's great, that's fine, but you really can't operate at this pace anymore if you want to win the game.
No. The problem too, Gurdon got up a little gingerly. He's limping a little. They're going to have to take a couple shots throwing the football.
And Coach Mallory knows it. They will give it, and they'll get across the 40-yard line. McKinley on the carry again.
Caleb McKinley, the ball carrier.
Good and bad with this type of offense, right? I mean, you can grind them out and pick up 1st downs, but you get behind, it's very difficult to catch up because there's not a big quick strike capability.
Gurdon, oh, he was pummeled. Nick Wachel, the senior, getting his guys awfully close to a state championship.
Aiden Gurdon is tackled in the backfield by number 40.
Here it is, watch Wachel coming up the top of the screen there. Number 40, beats a block, finishes them off.
Nick Wachel's 2nd sack of the game, his 9th tackle of the game. The 6-foot senior, who, believe it or not, gained 20 pounds of muscle during the 2-month playoff stoppage. Most of us during these quarantine times have been gaining 20 pounds the wrong way. Nick's been gaining it the right way.
Well, it shows his dedication to the weight room, and that's the thing about this year, right, Evan? These poor kids, it was fits and starts, and for them to keep their focus and their intensity when they had these big layoffs, I mean, my hat's off to all the players and the coaches and the MHSAA for even to be able to pull this thing off and to finish it up. Here's Wachel, watch him. Nice outside bull rush and just goes right around that right tackle and huge sack.
John, I'm glad you brought up that point about all of these players dealing with what's going on in this season, and a credit to the MHSAA for finding a way, figuring out a way to get some completion and some closure to these state football finals this year, because my heart breaks for all of the athletes who couldn't play in the spring. Of course, back then, it was an enemy that we didn't know much about. We're still figuring out COVID-19 every single day. But the fact that both of these teams get a chance to finish this year and get some closure, that's a credit to everyone involved.
It really is. And for them to hang in there over time and be as resilient, it's really a testament. Everybody wins the fact that we were able to pull this off and get a state championship.
Gurdon on 4th down, sets up a screen, and it's incomplete. A little bit behind Caleb McKinley. Cadillac turns it over on downs. Country Day has not won a state championship since 1999. That drought is close to ending. Country Day is 2 minutes and 51 seconds away from a state championship. Right now it's time for the Menards big money moment, and tonight, John Wengler, it has been this outstanding defense for the Yellow Jackets.
And that brings a smile to Coach McLean's face, the old linebacker. They flying around, they're side to side, big plays left and right. Watch Rachel on the sack here, and then we're going to see an unbelievable interception by Danny McLean, keeping his feet in bounds, and that brings a smile to Coach's face. You know that because he's a defensive-oriented guy, and that's really was the strength that carried this team all season long, and they stepped up huge here for the state championship.
Smart person once said, men lie, women lie, numbers never lie. Country Day in the last 3 games has allowed 10 combined points. They have shutouts in back-to-back games. And now with the season on the line, with the eyes of the state of Michigan watching, John, they are pitching another shutout in the state championship game.
And that's no small feat, okay? When you can come in here and shut a team down that has offensive firepower and the balance and who can run the football and up and down the field, get first downs, keep you off the field, to shut them out is a real testimony to the kind of program, and that's Country Day football. That's what Danny McLean loves. Defense and playing hard, running around, and teamwork.
Brandon Mann, I think, is not going to throw it again. Parker Yiergo's got the first down for Country Day. Parker has been a powerful runner in this game. He's across the 35, and Country Day starting to feel it.
Jeremiah Shattuck on the tackle for Cadillac.
This has been an outstanding program that Coach Dan McLean has led at Detroit Country Day. 23rd year as the head coach. He's won 179 games. He's been coaching there for 36 years. We asked him the other day, John, about what it's meant to him, his family, being a part of that Country Day community. He said he is so incredibly thankful that he gets to coach where he does, where he gets to work where he does. He meets incredible people, incredible kids, incredible families every single day. And he's about to bring them another state championship home.
Well, he's all about family. He's all about team. You know, if you had a kid, you'd love him to play for Danny McLean. You know, he's coached his kids. He's got his brother Tom as the get-back coach, who runs an unbelievable CYO program, St. Regis, one of the top ones in the city of Detroit. And you know, it's great to see the success that he's had, and for them to finish it off this year.
Country Day wrapping up day number 1 of the MHSAA football finals here at Ford Field. Tune in again tomorrow as the football finals continue. We start at 10 a.m. on Fox Sports Detroit. Traverse City, St. Francis against New Lothrop. And then we'll have Division 7, 1, 5, and 3 coming up tomorrow on Fox Sports Detroit, Fox Sports Detroit Plus, and on Fox Sports Go as well. Of course, John, we have been singing the praises of Detroit Country Day as they're on the verge of another state championship. But to everyone watching up north, watching on Comet Traverse City tonight, everyone from the community of Cadillac who has watched tonight, I want you to be darn proud of the football team that has showed up here today at Ford Field, that has played the entire season. They have literally done something the school has never done before, and in a once-in-a-century pandemic to boot. Hats off to them. Hats off to Coach Cody Mallory, their entire coaching staff. Although Cadillac's going to fall short tonight, they have nothing to hang their heads about.
Absolutely, Evan. And you know, we talked earlier, they have a lot of young kids coming back who gain an unbelievable amount of experience. And you know, it's like taking steps. You got to get one step, next step. You remember the Chicago Bulls, how hard it was to beat the Pistons. They finally got there and they rattled off 6. You know, I could see Cadillac being back here again. They have a great program. Coach Mallory does a huge job. It's all about the team and their family and meeting expectations, and he does a great job. And I'll tell you, these kids will remember this, and I'll tell you, it will fuel them all summer during their workouts, because they got a little taste, and now they want to be able to come back again with their fans and everybody here, you know, in 2021.
To your point, John, Cadillac's defense, just 3 of their 11 starters are seniors. They have the opportunity to come back next year.
Well, they got a quarterback, okay? He'll be a 3-year starter, okay? And you know one thing, he can run the football, he can make the right reads, he'll work on his passing all summer. They'll put in some plays so they can not be at such a disadvantage if they get behind. You know, these guys will learn from this experience.
Cody Mallory is going to let the clock run out on this one. Credit to Cadillac for getting here. But the story tonight in the Division IV state championship game is the Country Day Yellow Jackets. The curse at Ford Field is history for the first time since 1999. Country Day, they're state champions in football. Fourth title in school history. First since 1999. They had been 0-5 at Ford Field. We could sense it when we talked to the team and the coaching staff earlier this week. It's time. It's our time to bring a state championship back. Go to Ford Field and win one of these things. Remember, Country Day last year lost in the state championship game to Grand Rapids Catholic Central 44-0. This was a team on a redemption tour, and it ends with a state championship. We go down to the field. Trevor Thompson standing by with the winning head coach.
Coach, what does it mean to you and the guys to get that monkey off your back here at Ford Field?
It's a great night. It's just, you know, you're like exhausted, but great job by our kids. I think that's 3 shutouts in a row. They did a great job. Just great senior leadership. I'm proud of the boys. They just did that. My coach is fantastic, too. We had a good plan, and we executed it against a very good football team.
What was the difference in the second half where you said you weren't happy with the first half? What was the difference in the second?
Well, I just think we had some plays that we were able to hit, and just stayed after it. And I think our linemen, along with little Parker, got us going. 84 Parker a year ago got us going, and just a good game. I mean, again, a physical ball game.
You talked about overcoming the adversity of COVID throughout the year. What does this mean to the program to rally back from that and now have a state title?
Well, it's just tremendous, and great thing for our school, great thing for our seniors and our kids. Very proud of all of them, and give full marks to Cadillac. They battled, and for them, what they did in getting here, that's a really good, well-coached football team. I have a lot of respect for what they did.
And for you, on a personal note, to Coach Danny in his last game and for it to end this way, what does that mean to you? Because he had one hell of a game himself.
Well, thank you. Very emotional, and proud of him and all the seniors. And it hasn't quite hit me yet, but it's somewhat of a sad night too, because it's the end of coaching my kids. But it's been a wonderful ride, and so great that we can go out like this and finish the season after as long as it went. So it's wonderful.
Congrats on the championship.
Hey, can I say one more thing?
You sure can.
I'd like to just say hello to my mom, who got out of the hospital yesterday. And Mom, I love you, and I'll come and see you soon. Thank you, guys.
Well said. Congratulations,
All right,
Coach.
Thank you very much.
Guys, back up to you.
Thank you very much.
Trev, thanks. Coach McLean is a family man. He just coached his final son, Danny, to the state championship and just led Country Day to their 4th in school history. We wrap up the state title for Country Day after the break. Coach Dan McLean presenting his team with the state championship trophy. Their 4th in school history and their 1st ever at Ford Field. The curse is gone. 6th trip to Ford Field, and they win their 1st ever state championship since 1999. A full day of football here at Ford Field. Centerville, Mona Shores, Montague, and Country Day are state champions here in Detroit today. Mona Shores and Brady Rose capping off their journey to a state championship. We had the even-numbered games today, the odd-numbered games coming up tomorrow, John. And when you look at this game today and Country Day shutting out Cadillac, they ended the season with 3 consecutive shutouts. My goodness, what more can you say about this team and that amazing defense?
Well, the old cliche, right? Defense wins championships, and it couldn't be better said. Coach McLean is a defensive guy. It had to warm his heart, and to be able to give that trophy to his team and to his son, his last son, him being able to coach. I mean, what a way to finish things up. So our hats off to him. Great year of both teams, and look forward to another season next year of football and no COVID.
Absolutely. Amen. That'll do it for our coverage of the Division IV state championship game. Country Day wins state title number 4. 13-0, they beat Cadillac. Football finals continuing tomorrow beginning at 10 a.m. New Lothrop taking on Traverse City St. Francis. For Trevor Thompson, John Wengler, and the rest of our crew, Evan Stockton saying thanks for watching the MHSAA Football State Finals. Have a great rest of your Friday night.